everyone, today I am giving you information on the topic cataract. This one is the cataract part 6, in which will explain you about the types of cataract surgeries. Only two types of cataract surgeries we'll discuss here. First one is the phacoemulsification and the second one is the SICS, which is a small incision cataract surgery. So let's move to the phacoemulsification. The cataractous lens is emulsified by ultrasound and the aspiration. These two are the methods of doing the cataract surgery. Cataract surgery is done by the phaco method as well as the small incision cataract surgery is also done. Now basically in case of cataract, the natural lens which is present inside the eye get or becomes the cloudy as one growing in age. So that is known as cataract. Okay. So by the phaco method, the cataractous lens is removed from the eye and will insert a new or the artificial lens inside the eye. Now the cataractous lens is emulsified by ultrasound and aspiration. Okay, the cataractous lens which is already present inside the eye, which is a natural lens which gets cloudy, get breakdown by introducing a probe inside the eye. Okay, and then after breaking it, it gets sucked from the eye and removed every material outside the eye, and then soft foldable lens can be rolled up and inserted through a small incision. In case of phacoemulsification, different lenses are used. Okay, so foldable lens is mostly used. This one is the natural normal lens and its foldable form. In case of foldable form, we will insert the lens inside the eye so that we will give a small incision. Okay, will insert inside the eye in the foldable form and then it get open up after inserting inside the eye and rotates at the proper rotation where we want. These IOLs are very expensive. And the next method is our small incision cataract surgery, which is the SICS. In this case, the cataractous lens is removed by expression and aspiration. In this case, the rigid IOL is inserted. Okay, so in case of rigid IOL, we don't have the option to fold it. It is unfoldable lens. So we are supposed to directly insert it inside the eye, due to which we are supposed to give a big incision at the eye, which is about the 6 mm. Okay. Next one, it is a self-sealing and do not require any kind of sutures. The incision which we are going to give is a self-sealing. It gets sealed by itself and it doesn't require any kind of sutures. These IOL are less expensive. Okay. Next one is procedure of inserting PCIOL. Now the PCIOL as well as the ACIOL are the locations where we are going to insert the intraocular lens. Okay, and after removing the natural lens from the eye. Now what is posterior chamber? PCIOL means posterior chamber intraocular lens. Intraocular lens is IOL which we are going to insert, and PC, posterior chamber, is the location where we are going to insert it. Now the posterior chamber begins from the back side of the eyes. This one is the back side of this colorful part is the iris. Okay, so that location begins at the back side of the iris, and from the front side of the retina it gets end. And the another method is inserting the ACIOL, which is the anterior chamber intraocular lens. Again, IOL is the intraocular lens and AC is the anterior chamber, which is present in the front part of the iris to the back side of the cornea is our anterior chamber. Okay. Now, first preference we will always give to the PCIOL. Okay. If any complications are there while doing the cataract surgery, then we will give the second preference to the anterior chamber intraocular lens. Okay. Mostly PCIOL is done. A very rare you will find the ACIOL. Okay. Mostly at most of the times we will only insert the posterior chamber intraocular lens inside the eye. Okay. Next one, the procedure can be done under the local anesthesia. Okay, the procedure is done under the local anesthesia and the patient get awake throughout the operation. Only local anesthesia is given to the eye of the patient, not the whole patient. Okay, the flexible IOL enable the lens to be rolled for the incision into a capsule through a small incision, thus avoiding the need of stitches. Okay, small incision is given at the eye of the patient at the limbal side. Okay, at the end of the cornea. For example, this one is the iris of a patient, this one is the pupil of a patient. At here a small incision is given. Okay, small incision is given so that there is no need of stitches to be given to the patient. Okay, next one is posterior chamber is from the iris to the retina where the lens is inserted. As I have told you, from the iris to the retina the posterior chamber's location is there. Okay, now next one is haptics are supposed to be inserted in the ciliary body. Okay, original lens is sucked from the chamber at the time of holding. The zonular fibers get break and will not be stretches. Okay, now first of all, the probe is ultrasonic probe is inserted inside the patient eye through the small incision which we have given, and then the natural cataractus lens get sucked from it or break down into a small pieces, and then it gets sucked from using a ultrasonic probe and sucked outside the eye. Then new lens is inserted inside the patient eye through the same incision. These are the haptics. Okay, as this one is the intraocular lens, these are the haptics of the intraocular lens. Okay, when we are sucking the old lens from the patient eye, the zonular fibers were present there to holding these lens properly. When we are sucking it, so the connection or the zonular fibers get break. Zonular fibers perform the function of accommodation when the lens have to become concave, convex. After inserting the artificial lens we are supposed to insert the lens and have to stuck the haptics inside the ciliary body, due to which the accommodation get totally relaxed of the patient, and we have to give a correction from outside to the patient after the cataract surgery. Okay, so the haptics are inserted in the ciliary body of the patient. Because we don't have zonular fibers here, zonular fibers gets break while sucking the old lens or the natural lens from the eye. Okay, next one, foldable lens is inserted whose diameter after folding is 2.5 mm. So its diameter is only 2.5 mm, due to which we are going to give a very small incision and which get heals after 24 hours by itself. No need to give stitches, it get incision, get heals after 24 hours only. Okay, this was the procedure of the inserting posterior chamber intraocular lens. After inserting the PCIOL, when you look at the slit lamp, it will look like this. Okay, this one is the lens and these are the haptics which you are seeing here. Okay, let's move to the next. What is ACIOL? Now AC is the location which is anterior chamber, which is at the front side of the iris. Okay, next one, ACIOL is inserted on the iris. These are of different shapes, sometimes it is a claw shaped and sometimes these are of different shape. It gets settled on the iris and it can be easily seen in the patient's eye. Okay, now if you are seeing here that this one is the ACIOL. Okay, this is the shape of the ACIOL normally, and this is, while looking at this slit lamp, ACIOL seems to be like this. Okay, so this is the ACIOL which we have inserted inside the patient eye. Always ACIOL is giving a second preference, mostly first preference is given to the PCIOL, posterior chamber intraocular lens, because it is more safer than the ACIOL. Okay, thanks for your patience listening. This was the end.